Hey everyone! Today we are making a super tasty restaurant style garlic bread with Italian dough and a special Italian flavor. Trust me, if you make this at home, it will be
Just
so
see the
delicious
texture
that
and
there won't be a
stretchiness. To
single
make the
piece left,
garlic
and
mixture, you will
everyone will
need
ask
2
you to
heads
make
of
it
garlic
again.
and 1 onion. First, cut the tops of the garlic heads and the onion with a knife. Spread out some aluminum foil and place the garlic heads and the onion inside. Drizzle 4 tablespoons of olive oil over them and then sprinkle with 1/4 teaspoon of salt and black pepper. Close up the foil. Bake in the oven at 200 centigrade for 50 minutes until they are perfectly roasted. Once they are out of the oven and have cooled a bit, you can easily squeeze the garlic cloves out of their skins. You will see how nicely and smoothly they come out of their skins. The onions will come out just as easily. Mix the roasted garlic and onion with 150 grams of butter and add 1/4 teaspoons of salt and pepper again. You can use a mixer to blend everything until smooth. Now our garlic mixture is ready. Ingredients for making Italian dough: 500 grams of flour, 250 grams of cold water, 20 grams of oil, 1/4 tablespoon of dry yeast, 1/5 tablespoon of baking powder, 5 grams of sugar, 5 grams of salt. Making Italian dough is simple. Mix all the ingredients together except for the sugar and 10% of the flour. Ideally, you shouldn't add the salt and sugar together, but I'm in a hurry, so I did. We add sugar to the dough to make the crust golden and crispy. Also, the water should be cold so the dough does not ferment quickly if left out. Italian dough, unlike American dough, can stay in the fridge for just 1 day. For 500 grams of flour, you will get 750 grams of dough, which makes 3 30-centimeter pizzas. When adding flour, make sure to shift it first. Adding too much flour will make the dough tough. Add flour gradually until the dough comes together. I added the flour in stages, and when I used 90% of it, the dough came together. Knead the dough in the bowl with your hands. If it sticks to your hand, put a little oil on your hands and knead for 15 minutes. If the dough sticks to your hands, it means it hasn't reached the right consistency yet. Try to avoid adding more flour and instead get rid of the stickiness by kneading. Take the dough out of the bowl, sprinkle flour on your work surface and knead the dough for 10 minutes using the heel of your hand. To check if the dough is ready and does not need more kneading, shape the dough into a ball in your hand and then cut it in half with a knife. The surface of the dough should have small holes. Italian dough has fewer holes than American dough. Grease your bowl, put the dough in it, cover it with plastic wrap, and then place a towel over the wrap. Let the dough rest for an hour. Lightly oil your hands, shape the dough into a ball, then roll it out with a rolling pin. Spread the dough in the pan, pull up the edges, then push them down to form a ring around the dough. Spread the garlic mixture over the dough, then sprinkle mozzarella cheese on top. Bake in a preheated oven at 220 centigrade for 10 to 15 minutes until it's done. Your Italian garlic bread is ready. I hope you make it and enjoy it with your loved ones. Shawarma is one of those popular dishes you can find in most restaurants around the world.
It's beloved for its amazing sauce and unique spices. I've made it into a finger food version here. If you make it once, it will become a staple in your meals forever. To start, you can slice the beef fillet either into thin sheets or into strips, like this. Stack the meat and cut it into strips. Ingredients for marinating the meat: paprika, cumin, allspice, garlic powder, cardamom, cinnamon, oregano, lemon juice, and olive oil. Add the spices and lemon juice to the meat and mix it well. Then add the olive oil and mix thoroughly. The meat will be cooked later with this oil in the pan. Slice the onion into rings, separate the rings, and add them to the meat mixture. Mix the onions well with the meat. Cover the meat with plastic wrap and refrigerate it for 3 hours. Heat your pan until it's very hot. If the pan isn't hot enough, the meat will lose its juices and become dry. Once the pan is hot, add the meat. Keep an eye on it, and when one side is browned, stir it to cook the other side. Chop the parsley to your desired size. Slice the pickles into thin strips lengthwise. Roll the lettuce leaves and slice them thinly from the side to create thin strips. While you are preparing the vegetables, keep an eye on the meat. Stir it as needed to ensure even cooking on all sides. For shawarma, we use tomato fillet. Cut the tomato into 4 parts, discarding the core, and then slice the fillet into strips. Slice the radishes into thin rings. Set aside 1/3 cup of sliced olives. For a special tahini sauce, we need fresh lemon juice, grated garlic, tahini, salt, black and red pepper, cold water if needed. Put all the ingredients in a blender and mix until smooth. If the sauce is too thick, add 3 spoons of cold water and mix again until you get the right consistency. Here I add 3 tablespoons of cold water to reach this consistency. This thickness of our sauce is enough. Spread the tahini sauce on your bread first, then add lettuce, tomatoes, radishes, olives, pickles, parsley, and your choice of meat. Then roll up the bread. I made 2 more sandwiches for you. Now grill each side of the bread in a pan or sandwich maker for 1 and 2 minutes. Here our delicious Lebanese shawarma is ready. I hope you make it and enjoy it with your loved ones.